Welcome back to the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League Playoff Edition. How you like that for an intro?
Very vanilla this morning. No graphics, no music, no nothing. Just straight football talk.
Yeah, it's a hungover Sunday morning, but we're going to do our best to get through 2 games, 2 playoffs. Let's quickly recap Week 14, the last week of the regular season.
Your show brought to you by Ghetto Red Juice.
Dunkin' Donuts. And Tiger's joining us here because he's a little bored. He doesn't have much to do this holiday season.
No pussy this morning.
So he's joining us as well. All right, so Week 14, regular season finale. TNT, pretty much could have possibly made the playoffs if you beat Jake. And I called this upset. Jake the Snake ends the season on a 3-game winning streak. So congratulations to the Service Destroyers.
Way to go, Jake.
Yeah, way to go, man.
Like patting a little kid
a retarded kid.
Yeah, right. But TNT's a choke artist, it looks like, huh?
2 years in a row, TNT finishes at 8-6 and loses because of the tiebreakers.
You're good at gagging on cocks, aren't you?
I'm going to try to get this one through as quickly as possible. The Primetimers beat the Bulldogs, come back and win by like 3 points, and he still secures the #1 pick in the draft. Next. The Playmakers come back against the Cocoa Puffs.
That was a big win.
Down by 75 points. I scored 80 points on Sunday nights between my defense and...
I didn't even know you won till Wednesday. I wrote you off.
Dude, I told Cocoa Puffs, I sent him a congratulatory text, and he's like, it's not over yet. I'm like, dude, I'm down by 80. But, sorry, Coco. He still made the playoffs, so.
Yeah, but that loss.
Oh, the matchups.
That was a big loss for him.
Yeah.
He could have drew me instead of the high fly.
He would have won the division and played you.
He would have had a better chance at some money, at least to 250.
Yeah.
Now he's got his work cut out for him.
Yep. Well, Michael secures the #1 seed in the playoffs, destroys the Eliminators. Eliminators, I think, packed it in about 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I think his season turned around when the trade offer was made to him over the phone, and he didn't start his quarterback.
Yeah.
True, it didn't bite him in the ass.
That was like Week 9. Go back to Week 9, guys.
But I think that's when his downfall started.
Yeah, and I said in that show that he will not make the playoffs.
And
he's a dumbass.
We ended up being right.
And the Steelers suck.
We do know what we're talking about. We do this show for a reason, so you gotta listen to us.
We bring you knowledge and information you can't get anywhere else.
Val should be in the postseason, but he had a little bad luck.
Yeah, well, I won 7 out of 8 games. Second straight year, I finished 8-6, like TNT, with tiebreakers. I didn't score any points at the end of the season, man. That's what killed me. But I was the hottest team, and I know all you fuckers would have been scared if I was, including you.
You would be dangerous.
If I would have made the playoffs. So you're very, very lucky that I didn't. Archon Tigers, last but not least, beat the T-Mac Attack, destroyed the T-Mac Attack by like 60 points. This is the second time they met this year, and we're going to talk about that matchup coming up. They actually play each other this week as well, so you don't have to go back far to do some scouting. I mean, you guys just played last week.
Nah, T-Mac's what he is. I mean, he had a good season.
But he started off very strong, and he's kind of been,
yeah, he just
down the stretch.
Tailspin. And,
he is not doing.
I wouldn't write him off yet this week because I had Roy Williams last night and got me a whole 1 point, and that puts T-Mac back in the game.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the 2 playoff matchups. The seeding doesn't really make much of a difference, but Michael was the #1 seed, Cocoa Puffs was #4. They play each other. And of course, Archon Tigers and T-Mac Attack. So congratulations to the 4 teams that made the playoffs. Good luck to all you guys. Let's talk about the Archon Tigers and T-Mac Attack. Peyton Manning goes off. Absolutely goes off.
I was, before game time, I didn't know if I was going to start him.
I was talking to T-Mac, giving him my weekly help, and he's like, should I play these guys or what? What's going on? I'm like, you know what, dude? Who knows? With the Colts, the game could start and you could see Manning with a baseball hat and he's done. You know?
I think you got to go with your guys that brought you there. And I think Jim Caldwell's got something to prove. And they want to shut the Miami Dolphins up.
As a rookie head coach.
Quit having these veterans opening up champagne in December.
That's fucking classless.
That's classless.
That's, in my opinion.
That's your team, but...
you guys were all happy last night probably when the Saints lost, and now you got one team to worry about.
That happened when Nixon was president.
I hope the Colts go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, so they can shut up the Patriots and the Dolphins.
Well, I think most people would like to see the Saints and
that would be nice.
But last night Dallas took it to them, and I had that pick too. I just didn't have the over or the under. You know?
I took Dallas too. So actually, we got to pause the show because we got food in the oven.
It's just gonna shut off.
The
oven shuts off
by itself?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
The timer.
The timer is just the timer.
Yeah, it goes off.
Dude, mine just keeps going.
No. That's what the timer's for.
Oh, this shit's being taped, dude.
Really?
Yeah. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Sorry for that distraction. Of course, we have food in the oven, and we're hungover, so we need some food. But okay, so Peyton Manning, 44 points, goes off. Roy Williams does nothing. I don't even know why you picked Roy Williams up. I don't understand that.
He has 3 touchdowns in his last 4 games. That's why I picked him up. If you would have known that, you might have.
I know he's had a few touchdowns, but
the guy's 6'3". He's a big target.
He's inconsistent.
They're going to double team Miles Austin.
There's a reason why he's a free agent in Week 15.
Well, whatever. I mean, sometimes you got to roll the dice, and sometimes you don't get everything you wish for.
Well, let's look at the matchups. Reggie Wayne scores that late touchdown. Otherwise, he really only had like, what, 5 points?
Yeah,
so that was like a 19-point play for T-Mac, which he desperately needed because Adai didn't do much for him. And last night, Colston didn't really score a touchdown. So, you know, he's already had 3 guys go. He's only got 39 points. You got 45 points with 2 guys gone.
But he does have Kurt Warner still against Detroit.
Here's the only way T-Mac can upset you. I think this will be an upset. The way you're playing, the way he's playing. Kurt Warner is playing against a horrible Detroit secondary. I mean, Brady Quinn had 4 touchdowns against these guys.
Yeah, but does Ken Whisenhunt keep his star quarterback in the whole game? That's the key. He does.
I think so.
With that hip?
I think so.
I think you got to give Matt Leinart a little exposure time.
Next week and the following week, but once they clinch the division, they want to clinch the division today. He's going to play the whole game.
Well, they're playing St. Louis next week too, so they're not desperate.
Yeah, but if they win today, they clinch the division.
Okay.
If Warner comes close to scoring 35, maybe 40 points and goes off, this will be a game.
And he's got Peterson going too. Peterson has been overdue, I think. Against
Carolina.
Yeah.
He fumbles a lot though, man.
Yeah, but I think he's sick of seeing Chris Johnson all over the news. He wants a little exposure.
To prove he's a good...
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's forgotten about Adrian Peterson.
Well, who do you like in this game? Obviously yourself.
I think I like myself, but I don't think this game's over. By far, it's not over. But I think the key here is Cedric Benson going across the country to play in San Diego, coming off the injury.
Heavy hearts.
I don't think he's going to have a big game. I think he's got Warner and Peterson that has to really come big.
Well, that's why I don't like the matchup of Boss against Washington,
right?
Tight end against that passing defense. I don't like Benson at San Diego, and he's already had 3 guys go. You know,
right.
So I think the key here really is the Vikings defense against Moore, the quarterback, the backup quarterback for Carolina. They need a defensive touchdown. They need a lot of points there, and Warner.
But
those 2 guys.
We can't forget. I still have Jamal Charles going against Cleveland, and you have Randy Moss in Buffalo, who's terrible against the pass. And I don't know what the weather is up there.
It's gonna be cold as shit.
But I think Randy Moss has something to prove too. Everyone's been knocking him the whole week. We'll see what happens there. And of course Vernon Davis, who's been big all year.
The guy's a stud. That was a great pickup for a free agent. And Texans defense against the Rams, I agree. I think your matchups are better, and it really helped to have 44 points for Peyton Manning. So I like the Archon Tigers to go to the championship game and try to defend their crown, which would be the first time ever. Let's move on to the Cocoa Puffs. We spent a lot of time in that game. Now let's move on to the Cocoa Puffs and High Flyers and give them equal TV time here. Cocoa Puffs, 26-25 is the score as of this morning. Miles Austin goes off last night, 25 points. Maurice Jones-Drew goes off, so the 2 kind of balance each other out. I like the High Flyers. I mean, High Flyers are just peaking at the right time.
I wrote 3 things down for this game. Better offense, better matchups, better team. High Flyers are for real, folks. Who thought draft day that guy would be here in the postseason playing with us? He's got a great team. He's got Schaub going against St. Louis. He's got Beanie going against Detroit, Bolden against Detroit, and he had Austin with a big game.
He finally figured out this fantasy football thing with the help of his buddy Seth, probably.
Coco, I'm rooting for you because I'd rather play you. That's not an insult to you. It's just, I think that's a compliment to Michael.
But you know what? Coco was one of the worst teams last year, and he comes back and makes the playoffs. So kudos to Coco, man.
Yeah,
High Flyers too. High Flyers were the second worst team in the league.
Anything could happen. That's why I play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 26-25 going into today. Coco's got Brandon Marshall, who's been very hot. I mean, he's going against Oakland, but I don't think that's going to be enough for him.
This will be a huge, huge upset if Coco Puffs beats the High Flyers. I think you're rooting for Coco Puffs.
Of course I am. Wouldn't you be? I don't want to face Michael Horowitz.
Absolutely.
He's like Charles Manson right now. He's hacking everything.
Did you ever think that he would say, we're afraid of, or we don't want to play Michael Horowitz, the High Flyers?
No, but
I never thought that they would come, man.
Bye.
That's all the time we have. Good luck to everyone next. Good luck to everyone. On behalf of Tiger, Zach, and I, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. See you guys next week.